So it looks
There it
like
is.
we are live here in this
Live.
test round. Yo, what's up?
Look at all these
Dang,
three
Cory.
beautiful souls together.
Now, can you guys check your end and see, are you streaming from your channel? Well, this should be a triple
Oh yeah,
cast.
yeah. Let's do that.
Yeah,
Let's
it's. Oh,
let
I'm
me go
getting
public.
notifications for you guys now too. Ah, that's so
Nice.
cool. We did it. It worked. And not without a lot of assistance from our galactic team. So thank you upstairs. Hello, hello, and please keep us streaming for just a bit.
Yeah, so we got a good container here. Let's roll with it.
Wait a minute. So Cory, did you label and Dee, did you label the live on your channel, or did it just go through as whatever I labeled it?
No, I
No,
put it
got
on
to
his
customize
test.
it.
Yeah, I
Okay, 'cause
customized mine too.
You customized it. Okay, good. All right.
Yep.
So now we know how that
Cool.
works. Thank you guys so much for being willing to come on here. And I want to say a big warm welcome and hello to Cory and Derek's audience. Thank you for being here with us and testing this whole out. Hey, Betty, how you doing?
Hi.
Genevieve, nice to see you guys. They're
There's an
hearing a
echo.
little bit of an
Afternoon jam.
echo.
Little Sunday
You would
Okay.
not
jam
believe.
time.
If there's a little echo, we are doing great, honestly.
I have echo cancellation on mine.
No, but I mean, remember everything we went through just to get this up and going? Starting last
That
night
sounds
with
a
the
little
tech.
better.
It's been crazy. So really what we're doing is we're simulcasting this test because the three of us, along with a special guest, astrologer Bev Morrison, we are going to be on live Tuesday night because she's got some really important stuff to talk about with this full moon on Wednesday in Pisces, super full blue moon, and some very interesting astrological things that are going to impact everybody. So we felt an importance for it, and all four of us wanted to come live to all of our audiences and just let you guys know what's been going on, what we've been up to, and deliver soul messages that are coming through us all the time. And we just want to share it with you. So thank you both for being here today for this test. And thank you for watching, guys. Welcome.
Needed some more collaboration like this. This is beautiful. Welcome back, everybody, from Guiding D-Light. As you know, we are Guiding D-Light together. And I got two beautiful brothers and sisters here. I'm excited. It's fun when we all get into one space, right? So we can, and we're in multiple streams on YouTube. So good luck canceling us all, right?
You ain't gonna get us.
Hey, now wait a minute. Yeah, we've got
good.
Space Force backing us up. We're on a journey together. This is a journey.
So welcome, everybody.
Hello. I guess welcome in, everybody. This is so impromptu, and thank you guys. This is awesome. It's funny because I thought we were just doing a test, and when I found we were going live, it's like this automatically defines my reality and what it's like living in these spaces where it's like, oh, we're doing what? Okay, let's just see how it goes. Let's just show up with the toolkit and do it. So thank you guys. And if I seem a little bit off, it's like, once again, it's the latency between the connection points, and so I'm still figuring out how to dial in when to speak and when to stay quiet. So I'm understanding the flow and the dynamics of this exchange as well. So thank you guys, and welcome to everyone who's a part of this live stream with us. So thank you.
Yay. I love this. It's like a total collaboration. There's multiple tribes. There's, multiple bloodlines. Ultimately, at the top, we're all one anyway. But the unity of bringing us all together and seeing what Spirit's going to have. Like, we've all kind of played in each other's energy many times before, but it does feel different now. And it feels like, stepping into new work, new ways forward, bringing a vision that we all have and bringing that in to manifest that. We're all stepping through the gates together, and we know now the doors are open, and it's like, woohoo, and we still want to make sure everybody else comes along for the ride too. But it's just really important to come together when Spirit guides you. I want to just say, leading a spirit-led or spirit guiding kind of life. And Cory, you just were saying that, how you just kind of show up, say, okay, what are we doing right now? Knowledge, it reminds me, my favorite fortune cookie saying is, knowledge is knowing what to say, and wisdom is knowing whether or not to say it. Yeah, powerful.
That's good.
And that's been a big key of discernment that's actually been playing out through the collective lately. I've been noticing a lot of throat chakra issues I don't want to say issues, before that and better, a lot of throat chakra work that's happening right now. And I have multiple people, clients, and streams on my end that are confirming the same thing, which is this empowerment of truth. What do we say? The right and wrong, standing in your power, standing in your truth, and a lot of really big clearing happening here at the throat level. So if anyone's feeling that, that's been the biggest thing, has been discernment, right? And also too is this reaction mode, right? Stepping out of the reaction level of awakening, at least over here, the impulse, the trigger, right? Witnessing from within when I'm going through that really big that catapult of experience that can almost come across as explosive, especially, you know, I've been noticing it for myself in the masculine collective and those that are healing a lot of the chaos in the war right now. This has been a thing, is deepening the breath, not being so reactive to the trigger, not being so impulsed by that, because that's also like the low-hanging fruit that I noticed that these things kind of play off of. And so very interesting that kind of goes hand in hand with this wisdom, which is we all know better. We know what to do. We know what's highest aligned for us, or in our own opinion and perspective. And it's really following, you want to say, that gut instinct, right? Which is the intuition, right? And allowing that to merge with the logic has been really, really important. So.
Well said.
Yeah, the reactionary, right? Not buying into it, right? And just not allowing the reaction to be your reality, right? So if we stay strong in our thoughts and we don't buy into the reality, right? And we create, and because we are creators, right? So instead of saying we're stuck in this situation, allow ourselves to quantumly change the situation for the better outcome versus just accepting it as truth or as reality.
Yes. That's so true. And that's exactly when you're in communication with your soul. The higher purpose of the throat chakra is not just communication verbally, what we're speaking human to human is appearance of separate beings. Right. It's actually inner, the higher version of it is connection, communication.
To being the creator and conforming it into how you're.
Yes. And it's soul level speak, it's soul communication. It's that higher communication within. And knowing if there are triggers and all of that. It's funny you brought that up, Cory, because it was just apparent in what was going on in people that I know in my personal life and influence, sphere of influence, and all of that. The same thing is going on right now with almost everybody, and it's learning how to stay out of projections of other people, other people's opinions of you, other people's images of you, other people's truths, which, yes, it's their truth, but their truth about you is not your truth. They don't know you. They're projecting onto you because they don't want to fix what's within themselves. So we have that ability to put our fields from our heart at that smallest point and expand it out and clear our fields in a heartbeat. And you know what I found just last night? I came back to one of the worst flingers of poo-poo that I've ever experienced in this life, and repeatedly unprovoked, let's just say, projections. I don't know what else to say. So last night I actually included them in my prayers. And I was like, I was experiencing the ability to love even that which seemed to be the worst of my shadows, projections, and evil. Like, oh, they're coming at me. Like, they're evil. Instead of pushing it away, I embraced them and I sent love and I prayed. And I'll tell you what, it transformed everything. Like, I have no care, no attachment, no triggers anymore today. Just waking up a whole new feeling with that. It's liberating.
Yeah. And the biggest thing too has been, well, so first off, dialing into authenticity, what you see is true. The biggest thing is we have, spheres of influence that can A, progressively awaken the collective, or B, we can start to take on that influence and wear it almost as a garb or clothing. So even myself being someone who speaks my truth, I have to recognize the impact I have at an influential level and how that cosmic ripples out. What I say now casts out for eternity. And same with the children, right? And I know Brother D can you both can relate to this, is like what we say to our own families, to our kids, and the generations and the things that they pick up on, right? That start to align with truth. There's been so much in that, even here, where there's been moments for myself where even I'm like, I don't even want to share, right? Because I don't want to impact or influence. But then I recognize too, when we influence from the right space, right? Totally different outcome. And that's why this mouth of God energy comes in, which is that back of that throat, right? It's that channel, it's that connection point. Some of it would say it's the oracle, right? It's who you are as soul. And I feel like when we dial into that communication link to soul, it's really important, but also we're in that Mercury retrograde, right? And so I don't play into Mercury retrograde. I don't play into retrograde patterning, but I also recognize it's that inward glance, that inward look right now into the speaking, the we say travel and communication, all these things. I'm not an astrologer, so we'll leave that for Bev. But like, it's really big right now because once again, guys, we're in a period of truth and in a period of revelation. And what I see these narratives play out, and I'm like, okay, are we playing out in the narrative of victimhood, in martyrdom, and playing in those narratives and attaching to them? Well, the thing is that these are the kinds of things that we're here to completely transcend in our realities, so we don't play by these old books, these old stories. But same thing is, what is our authenticity? And also, to influence can be a beautiful thing. Both of you have influenced me for the greater good of myself, right? And so influence isn't always negative, and this is why when we see the pole adjustment, right, the dark, the light, just like Brother D was showing us earlier with that yin and that yang, right? Really knowing that, like, when we're playing in this duality game, how can we see beyond it, neutralize it, and give ourselves an opportunity to feel safe in our bodies, being authentic in our truth, and speaking our truth out loud as well. But to note that our words are impactful, right? And we also have to look at loaded communications. Where are we weaponizing communication? Right? And that's within the realms of the trigger. Are we breathing through the trigger, or are we speaking from the weapon? And that's really important as well.
I think that's very interesting too, is the whole empowerment, right? So we want to empower our children and our communications, right? But then there's times where we want to be empowering, but we're actually deflating, right? So to understand and acknowledge that, okay, if I act a certain way, it's actually a deflating. I'm pushing out a projection that's actually a deflation, right? Even though it's truth, we want that to change, right? So it's like being very crafty with your communications is very key over the last, I don't know, handful of days. But I mean, even though I say that right now, I mean, what was it, Wednesday? I wasn't ready just to pull the plug, man. It was like this frustration and everything just overwhelmed me. Like I lost all of my gratitude. Like I didn't know what to do. And like, it was just frustrating. But I learned very quick that if I'm frustrated and I'm in this frustrated mood, how quick everything in my reality falls apart and becomes frustrating chaos, right? So I was reminded very quick that I'm not allowed to have any bad days, right? But I'm still, going through that as that levels out, right? So it's been an interesting remembrance of a realization.
That's a really good way to put it. It's like cellular memories. It's not cellular, it's cellular stuff you already know within. Yeah. I think we're all learning that. The power of the spoken word is very powerful, but uncharted territory and yet cellular memory. So I guess we all find out together, right? Yeah. And as one learns, we all learn. It's like the 100th monkey effect. Right?
Yeah. And that's why we really wanted to come together and understand this technology side of things, because Tuesday's very powerful, right? We have this blue moon, right? Everything in my aura is like my soul, everything's blue, right? I have about 9 different shades of blue that are very kin to my soul, right? And being that it is the blue moon, but also it's the closest the moon's been in so long, and just all the different astrological things. We'll let Bev definitely discuss all that. So make sure you tune in. But realizing how much these communications are going to start blending through the telecommunications, right? It's like, mark my words, your phone's probably already starting to read your mind, right? That's only going to intensify, especially after this full moon. But in the same sense, are you open to the telecommunications? Because if you are, there's no doubt in my mind that you won't be blessed.
Yeah. Getting used to that transhumanism is not the same thing as communicating quantumly with tech or anything else. There's mechanisms that you can use that are highly advanced technologies, and there's organic advanced technologies. You could call our bodies organic advanced technologies.
Exactly.
Right? So getting used to whether or not your phone can read your mind, it's almost like, last night I told you guys I was going to send you the link for this broadcast. Remember? I was like, I'll send it tomorrow night or sometime today. And I got kicked off the internet right after I set up the stream and everything. And I was like, okay. So, that's what the start of everything I explained earlier. And I think part of it was me, and it was manifesting. Okay, you need to go to bed now. You told them you'd take care of you either today or tomorrow. Go to bed now and wake up tomorrow. Because it's like I can hear my galactic team answering with these things. So it being calm and peaceful, not having a reaction. I don't play into the re's either, Cory. But Mercury in retrograde, sometimes it's, re-evaluating things, realigning. That's okay, because it means you're putting yourself back where you need to be, coming back in. Did I forget anything? Just double checking stuff. So like I think it's a great time for that, or a great time for hibernating or getting stuff organized, Virgo season, all these things that Bev will be bringing in. So yeah, you guys both are going to be streaming Tuesday night to your channels, right?
Yep,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, if anything final that Spirit or Soul wants you to come through and say, because this is really just a little taste of some of the things that are going to be going on Tuesday night. But go ahead, guys.
Yeah, if you don't mind, I do have a little bit of notes.
Yeah.
And I pulled a few cards.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot we are going to pull some cards too. So yeah, let's do that. Let's do the card stuff.
Okay. Hey, Cory, if you wouldn't mind miking its feedback in just a little bit. Got to work that button. So yeah, so the telecommunications is very strong, and it's what I've been picking up on. I mean, there for a while, a handful of years back ago, I'm like, is this telecommunication thing real? Because it's like I'm walking around talking and tapping on people's higher selves, and I was getting no response in the physical. But over time, I found amazing people like Cory and Lynda, and it's like, okay, well, that telecommunication's there if it's really in tune and tied onto it. But that telecommunication, that energy, the fluctuations, everything's 99% hollow space, right? So all of this understanding for me is really interesting because of this time that we're coming in. Our minds are more synced to our environments than ever, right? So being key on what's going on in your mind and how that's affecting your reality is really key, because even for some of us who aren't as advanced are still playing maybe some fear games and some other lower dynamics into their reality, and it's causing chaos, but it's like you self-created it through your mind. So understanding how the telecommunications and telecommunication through everything, like freeing that mind up and really getting into that, right? Understanding how powerful the mind thoughts are and take that straight direction, right? Don't beat around the bush for yourself. And if there's something that you're unclear about, instead of just building thought patterns on it and making it into this huge structure, just go confront somebody right away, right? And find out whether it's right or wrong, because you could create this whole ball of mess that was off of one thought pattern. Did this person do this to me, right? Or is this person trying to do this? And it's just, now's not the time to do that. We're going into an evolution, right? So if you want to keep your thoughts on evolution, and as our DNA upgrades, it's going to lead to that telecommunication even more strengthening within your reality, right? As your DNA, subconsciously as it goes into that crystalline structure, you're going to be able to have some of these more gifts that connect you to the quantum and the space that you normally aren't coherent about, right? I know some of us we're dabbling into it. We're starting to understand it and the fascination behind the magic, but really understanding how that all that true essence is really going to come into you as you expand your DNA. And that's the beautiful part. It can be quite intimidating in a way, right? There can be at times where it's uncomfortable, but as we work through that, that's where we build our strength. So I've got some cards, but I will let somebody else talk before I present my cards.
Yeah, I'll speak a little bit on this, D. I want to just bounce off of that because I've been noticing this in my reality. It's the letting go of assumptions, right? And then also to the internal reflection of, once again, when our DNA comes online, sometimes we look at the communication links, the bridge of consciousness between one or more realms, to be able to link that communication to a purification space where we're free of the filters so we can understand what's truly going on. Because same thing has happened. We call it the council of shit. And it's that internal voice that goes, no, you can't, or this guy, or your woman's doing this, or whatever, the babble, blah, blah, blah. It's the babble on that starts playing with the reality and plays in the fear games, the false flags, right? Things like this. I've noticed this too. And I've noticed that actually what's really interesting is if I look at the spheres of influence in my reality and I let it go and I go, is this playing into unification or is this playing into separation? That gives me an understanding of where I'm at of awareness as well. So I'm grateful that you're talking about the telecommunication links, because this is something that's really, really important, especially when we live in telepathic realities, and also to things like mind games, the mental chatter. When I feel myself having a projection, I'm doing the same thing. What tools do I have within me to shift the mental fields and the emotional bodies, right? And when is my mental fields also starting to clamor up with the reality that's going to collapse? I've noticed these collapses happen. And here's what I noticed about the collapses. It was a reverberant respondent memory to my body. And these big chaotic collapses dealt with metalloids in my body. So it's really interesting because heavy metals, when we're starting to exchange communication links with computers and cell phones, which are crystalline light technology, there's crystalline diodes inside of this. us as the crystals recognize that that also plays on magnets and magnetism. So I've noticed that these big collapses were responding to gut flora, which were violent chemicals in the body that were almost diseases or viruses that are going through and shifting right now, which is why I'm going through a lot of like gut flora cleansing, and also 2 heavy metal cleanses I've been noticing too. So those big breakdown, break open, break through moments that were happening for me were also big body restructuring, because once again, when we're holding that level of DNA and light, we're triggering off the density within the form, which is the inorganic material that gets in the way and blocks our light. So
Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful. Really good points too. And playing off of like certain purgings that are going on and on the personal level, remember the micro and the macro, because when you go through something in yourself and you're thinking of, well, I'm affecting the grid, because you start to think every day, like you become the meditation. It's the same thing. Everything that you do sends out those ripples and affects the grid. So if you're cleansing and purging something, whether it's through your mind system, through your fractals, through other nodes, through interactions and contracts being released and karma, whatever it is, doesn't matter what the purge is. When the purge happens, you can intend to generate that transformative energy out with your transformation. You don't just have to purge it and blast it out and say it's gone. Why not send out the healing and the codes of how to everybody else on the grid? You know, use that heart chakra for the reason of letting everybody else share in that. And you can't control the flow of the rivers or the ocean. The ocean flows. So when you send it out, it's going to go where it needs to go. So
yeah, put them back where they belong.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, D,
Beautiful.
you got some cards?
I just want everybody to take a big deep breath and really tell yourself it's going to be okay. Because it literally, it's going to be okay. But if you've got some anxiety built up, you're too much in the future. So come back in the now presence. Allow yourself to be focused in on that. So the cards I pulled were out of the Guiding D-Light. Well, they're Guiding Light cards here. But like I said, I feel like they were made for me. So the first one's Blessing in Disguise, right? We don't understand what the blessings that we are taking upon, right? We have a full spectrum of all these colors and energies that are ready to build off of. So even though you might not see clearly how you intended to see things in the future, or it's not quite manifested out how it is, you got to realize all the blessings in disguise, right? You don't know what you don't want until you experience what you don't want, right? So going through all those battles has really made you more of a sharper needle, right? So understanding and then those blessings, but then we also got empathic overload, right? So there's so much energies right now. There's so much of these thoughts bombarding and bouncing against each other. Are you in different thought pattern structures, or are you allowing those thought patterns to be dissolved through you, right? So are you adding to the thought structures, or are you down breaking the thought structures? As you get these thought structures out of your head and there's less thought structures there, you can break them down easier. The more you're current in your thoughts and you're in the current now moment, when thoughts arise, you can telecommunication, right? Telecommunicate, see the thought, think about the thought, adjust the thought, and get the thought back. And without even physically saying something, the other person's reacting on how you thought, you took their thought of how they should do it, and then they do it, right? And I do that a lot with the kids too. Instead of them telling them, hey, do it this way, just think, do it this way. And instead of stopping them and telling them. So I think that's very powerful, because we've got this empathic overload, but it can also be a chance for us to really, gain a lot of momentum, right? If we're clearing our thoughts. And then the last card was Wishing Upon a Star. So we are that shooting star. It's time for you to dream again, right? We need to get back in our dreams, because coming this full moon, this blue moon, it's a chance for all of our dreams to come true in a way, right? Especially on an event, right? Because if anything, I would say it's a solar eclipse next year. But anyways, we're having this a chance. So just make sure you come back and you understand the dream's still achievable. Go back to your wish, right? Get into that creation of, this is what I desire. And that's going to take you a long way. And then the structure of everything coming back into its essence is a bumpy ride, right? There's going to be different energies, different colors, different frequencies that we're going to bump into. And we need to understand that. But we need to understand our blessings in disguise so that we can empathically change our world and wish upon a shooting star.
Oh my God, that was so good. You know, that last card you just sent, when I saw it, the first thing that came into my mind was the parting of the Red Sea.
Yeah.
It was like parting of the Red. Woo! Yeah, beautiful.
There's some dark colors in there. But then there's
I
also
love
some
when you
things-
do cards, it's always so like right to the point. Spirit's always got that message. You too, Cory. Both you
Just quick.
guys. You're so talented. So okay,
Pull and
I
go.
think we all want some more of this Tuesday night, right? Not just, this or
Yeah,
that or whatever.
there's gonna be a new card layout. That's to get us to the full moon, right? That's not what we're gonna experience in the energies. That's what we need to focus on getting to this full moon.
Yeah.
When I was first going out, I was trying to look for the right proper teaching, right? And to have somebody that's going to show you the road. I know for me, Rion and brother Alex Mazzone, those guys helped me understand the duality of so if your brothers and sisters are telling you, hey, this is kind of what you experience, and if you do this work, like if you work through it like this, or if you allow yourself to see a different perspective, right, you really are being blessed right now instead of being cursed, right? It creates a different energy. And if you follow us for a certain amount of time and you ride that wave of energy with us, there's no doubt in my mind it's going to propel you down the path that you want to be on.
Yeah, we've got a trinity of energy now, don't we? It's going to be quadruple on starting Tuesday on. We're on solid legs. 4 foundation is very solid. It's 4 corners. It's 4. Well, you could say 4 elements.
90 degrees. Yeah.
It's exactly what we need as a solid foundation to take this wave, and what we create on Tuesday, send it all out. So at the end of Tuesday night's broadcast, it's going to be sent out and released to the grids, guys. It's going to be going out for everyone.
I'm already starting to get the tingles just thinking about it.
Yeah, me too.
Can I share something, guys?
Please,
from the cards? It's actually really funny because it's just what you guys were talking about. That's why I'm sitting here with this like little shit-eating grin. Excuse my language, but shit-eating grin because it's the cards right now. So processing. Two of Pentacles to me is processing. This is exactly what we're talking about, is these ripples that occur. How do we stabilize through the process? This is a card of multidimensional processing. Then we have the gift. Is it a gift or a curse? So there's the miracle in the experience. Can we see it, or are we seeing? This is about perspective. It's a card of depression and of apathy, but it's also not being able to see what the gift is. And then we have the Hierophant, which is coming through as the counselor. So all of this taking us to that internal counselor, that internal way shower, that internal higher self. It's one of those things that's bouncing the kingdom back to within. And the wisdom of it, once again, is how to work with other people and how to work with our own alignment. So we still have the 3 of Pentacles, which is cute, because this is, if we want to talk about odds of these kinds of cards coming in, there is no randomness within this. But what we're seeing here is that these are 2 people who are seeking the guide, the blueprinter, to understand where do we go, the direction moving forward. This is a trinitized alignment, right? This is a balancing of being able to go within to our internal condition and be able to make decisions and to know what to do. So if we look at planning and strategies, this is us activating our internal strategy. So the outer noise giving us the gift or the miracle, understanding that we are the internal counselor, which means we can bring our masculine, feminine child all into balance. We can come into alignment on our own terms. But once again, it's about when this processing is occur, what's the miracle in it? Remember when Dee was saying being able to find gratitude in these experiences? This is exactly it. We are remembering the light from within these spaces and what we are internally processing, because it's all, again, it's a part of the pathway. That's what this is. This is a part of the pathway. So I just wanted to share that because I'm sitting here as you guys are discussing this, and it aligns beautifully to what we're already discussing.
Okay, and I'm going to piggyback on that one because I wasn't going to do cards, and then you did them, and I'm like, you know what? I did one in the beginning. It was about the journey, remember? And then Spirit just had me pick 3 more really quick because it's all about the alignment. And the first one that came up was strategy. Having a strategy, having a plan. 2 + 1 is 3. It's the Trinity. It's perfect for us, right? And it's interesting because it's all the different symbols that you see, the star maps, star seeds, way showers, the feathers, like everything. It's all about the gift within, discernment within, seeing with your third eye. It's about the sight. It's the inner sight, the quantum sight. There's your 4. There's your stability that we've got coming on Tuesday night, but within yourself, the 3 leads to the 4. And then what do you have? You have the 5, 32, right? And that's door to spirit, which is what we're talking about, is communicating with the higher self, using that throat chakra, using your sight for moving up. And the crown is the door to the spirit. So 3, 4, 5, bing, bang, boom, bada, boom, done.
Oh, that's great. Man, I literally just had a deja vu moment right there. Like I seen this, and this was like a trajectory in my crossroads, and watching Cory do that card pull and then you do it, and that light shining right underneath my box Like I literally just had a deja vu moment. So
I took that
I'm glad
picture.
we were in the right spot at the right time.
That's one of my pictures. I took it.
It's beautiful.
And you can see the little blue and the purple coming out of the rays, actually. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Oh, you guys.
Rainbow kisses from those unicorns.
There you go. All right. Well, listen, you got any final thoughts? Because we're gonna come back again on Tuesday night. What do you think? Final thoughts?
Yeah, so I hope to see you all in one of the live groups. I don't know how it does the live feed with the chats. I don't know if it combines it all into one or if it's all on separate pages. But make sure you're there, especially if you don't have any plans, because there's not only going to be an essence of us coming together and an energy that's created in that, but you're going to be able to pick up a few things and you're going to be able to make some sense of a few things. But ultimately, the quantum experience, right? Allowing yourself, your energies to meld together in the full moon with everybody who's tuning in to this broadcast, if you want to call it of that. You know, yeah, we're just a few little tiny YouTube channels or whatever, but really we pack a big punch. So I hope to see you all on the feed on Tuesday, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, indeed. The human brain can interact in up to 11 dimensions. That's a fact. It can create structure. If you say how many dimensions can the human brain interact in, the answer is the human brain can create structures in up to 11 dimensions. So
Wow.
yeah, we're bringing in the higher dimensions. We're not just little YouTubers. That's okay.
Yeah.
Cory,
It's gonna be
you're
a good
still
time.
muted, I think.
I'm just grateful. I'm just sitting here. I'm just taking it in. So I'm in that being state, and I appreciate it, right? And I'm excited because once again, this full blue moon, it is the last full blue moon until 2032. So we've got this 9-year window too, right? So this is a marker stone for this 9-year window. And what does the 9 mean to us? It's the mystics, it's the magic, but it's also too it's that moment of completion, right? So there's something within this that's a very special space. I haven't tuned into a lot other than, once again, manifestation, cleansing, releasing, but I'm really excited to see what shows up for all of us in the astrology, in the cards, in our day-to-day, and in our awareness that we're all that common thread, unity, finding what this is. And so we'll let the details be what they are, and just I'm really excited to see all of you on this full moon and see what comes up for us.
All right, wonderful. Thank you guys. If you were watching and
Beautiful.
spending time with us today on this little test, and Dee, Cory, thank you both for being here. We look forward to seeing Bev and all of you guys on Tuesday night. So take care. Peace out. We love you. And
Peace.
see you next time.
Stay true. Be you.